Hello everyone and welcome back to the Don's channel. I am the Donfather and I'm now going to be doing a very short prelims final review, 2019 prelims final review, the two games that we had because I had difficulties. My device that I watched the games through completely shut down this week. Alright Lucas mate, the device that I watched the game through is completely shut down this week and I never got to watch the full games. I've been watching it through some streaming site, unfortunately. So, how's it going, everyone that's joining? Thanks very much for joining. So, a little bit of problems. So, I've watched all the highlights anyway. We'll go over the scorelines and who's going to be in the grand final, etc. And we'll just talk a little bit of general footy chat. My throat's a wee bit dodgy. I'm losing my voice a wee bit, so I'm going to keep it short for that reason as well. You're not going to want to listen to me, oh horse. But we'll get to it anyway. First up, Friday the 20th of September, the Tigers versus the Cats. That's Richmond Football Club versus Geelong at the MCG. It started brilliantly, you would say, for the Cats. Hi, Pete. Hi, everyone that's joining. Thanks very much for joining, everyone. How you going? I hope you're all right. Had a good weekend. Thanks very much. It started well for Geelong, and I actually thought, do you know what? They're actually going to do this. They actually made me. It was just everything they were doing. They were just pinning the Tigers back on top of them. Just did not let them out. Didn't let them breathe. Didn't let them get their head above water for a breath. They just, and the intensity in which they were playing it, I just couldn't believe it. But the Tigers managed to fight their way back in, and then around the third quarter, they kind of levelled it up a bit. And as I said on Thursday, I believe this game's going to be a bit of a tug of war until the fourth quarter, and then you'll see the quality that the Tigers possess, and they'll have enough to go out and dominate the game pretty much and go and get a victory. And that's pretty much exactly how it panned out. Of course, Geelong were without Hawkins, who was a big player for them last week against the West Coast Eagles, so he was missing. And he was in the crowd watching nervously. But the Tigers have went out victorious. Credit to Lynch, who's went and scored 5 goals. I think that's a personal best for him, especially in finals. That's an unbelievable achievement. Dusty was magnificent, I thought. He is showing why people think that he's top draw player. I feel that leading up to the last couple of weeks in the ladder and now in the finals, you're starting to see the real Dusty Martin again. Some of the things that he was doing, he had no right to do. But I want to go real back to the start of this year, when Geelong had a little bit more dominance. He looked like he took a bit of a knee injury, Dusty. Graham's dislocated his shoulder, and credit to Graham for being one of the hardest bastards in the AFL. He's got his shoulder popped back in, and he's played on for the rest of the game. So, to this weekend's hard man goes to Graham, without a shadow of a doubt there. Absolutely outstanding. Well done, him. But at that stage in the game, the wounded Tigers, as the old saying goes, that's exactly what they look like. And the early, particularly the first half, really, before the third quarter when they started coming back into it. But the fourth quarter, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind now that Richmond, after what they've done in that last quarter, are without doubt the best team in the AFL. However, and there is a however, and that is because of the game yesterday. You cannot predict this sport. This is why I absolutely fucking love Aussie rules. Particularly, and do you know what? The AFL get a lot of bad press. I for one, give them the odd one-liner as well. But you've got to look at the certain systems that they've got in play to try and keep the playing field across the board as level as possible, with the exception of maybe the Gold Coast Suns. Every team can near enough beat any other team on their day. But obviously the top 8 teams that go into finals footy have just been the better throughout the year. And you're starting to see why the Giants were sitting first and second with Geelong for so long. Collingwood anyway, Saturday the 21st of September at the MCG, the second preliminary final between the Collingwood Football Club and the GWS Giants. And the Magpies, do you know what? I thought the Giants were absolutely outstanding. Not a lot, and I mean, really, there wasn't a lot of great footy on display in this game. in terms of technical footy, skillful stuff. But what it did have was the true spirit of the sport. I absolutely loved it. I did see some of it before my link broke down on me. Hi Dylan, mate. Yeah, I'll just catch up with your go the Wallabies. I don't know if you're talking about the rugby there, but Ireland's beating Scotland 19-13. Terrible game. It's on right at the back of the camera here. I'm looking up at it every so often. Scotland were never going to win this game, but there was hope. Anyway, on to Collingwood. The Giants were without Caniglio, Deledlio, or Deledio, or whatever way you pronounce his name. Toby Greene was suspended. The list of people out for the Giants was phenomenal from a first team point of view. And that was one of the main reasons why I just thought there's absolutely no way the Giants are going to beat Collingwood. Collingwood have been fantastic of late. All their big players have been stepping up and playing some great stuff. I put Collingwood down for a win. I think most people would have put Collingwood down for a win. I predicted an all-Melbourne final, and that's exactly what we didn't get. The Giants were phenomenal. Although in the last quarter, it was one of the best comebacks I think you're going to see in finals footy, what Collingwood put up. They put up an unbelievable comeback. They've hit the post with one at the end. They've had one that was touched on the line. They were absolutely outstanding in that fourth quarter, but it's finished 52-56, and the GWS Giants are there. They're at the MCG next Saturday. That's what it's all about against the Tigers. Richmond will be looking to absolutely slaughter them. And do you know, I know something. Toby Greene's been out, but I can imagine if he does his eye gouging stuff against Dusty, Dusty will absolutely smash him. There was, because obviously he's targeted Bontempelli, which was arguably Bulldog's best player. He's targeted Lucky Neal in the eye gouging, which is arguably Brisbane Lions' best player. Dusty now, which is arguably Richmond's best player. Is he going to try and do something dirty? Very, very dirty. You don't need to be dirty to be hard on a footy field. Look, I absolutely love Toby Greene. I think he's an unbelievable footy player. But he has got that element of bipolar to his game. I think he's a little bit of a tramp, the stuff that he does. I don't condone eye gouging. I think eye gouging's weak. If you're going to hit somebody, hit them where they've got a fighting chance to hurt you back into a 50-50 and absolutely smash them in that. You see it in players. Anderson at North Melbourne. He's not a big guy, but Anderson's one of the cleanest, hardest bastards on a footy field. I absolutely love the wee guy for it. You've got Rich as well at the lines. These are wee guys, a lot like the size of Toby Greene. They're not big built, but what they have is the heart of a fucking lion. They'll run through brick walls for you. Dylan, mate, wowza. You did not need to donate. You did not need to donate, mate. I know we're talking about something next week. You did not need to donate. Thank you very, very much. That is fucking hell, mate. Unbelievable. Great. Thanks very much, Dylan. Commiserations. I'm going to get back to what Dylan was saying. Of course, I think it's Glen Elg, is it? The Tigers and the SANFL Grand Final and the Port Adelaide Magpies. Congratulations to the Tigers. They did win this, and it did seem quite convincing in the end by the final score. I don't think Port Adelaide really looked, the Magpies, looked very good from the get-go there. I'll have to check out highlights somehow. I don't know how I'm going to be able to see that, but certainly maybe YouTube will show it, so I'll check that out. Commiserations, Dylan, mate. You were at the game the day, so I hope you had a good day, minus the scoreline. I doubt you did anyway. I know what it's like to be on the end of one, but any supporters from the Tigers, is it Glen Elg you call them? I'm not too sure. And the SAFL Grand Final though, so congratulations. 39,100 crowd at that. That is absolutely outstanding for your state football like that there. Incredible numbers. So, as I was saying just before, Dylan put that absolutely unbelievably generous donation in there. Finishing it off with Collingwood's last quarter was magnificent. I can't remember the guy. He's got the curly hair there. He's crying. He cried last year when they were on the end of one against the Eagles in last year's final, and he was in the Dockers team as well in the finals. think semi-final or prelim final. He's been knocked out, and can't remember his name, but he was brilliant in that last quarter too. I think he hit the post with one. He scored one. Chris Main, that's him. I knew it began with an M. The curly hair. He was absolutely brilliant in that last quarter. Just across the board, I just thought Collingwood. I thought they had it in the bag actually. The scorelines. Dylan was actually keeping me up to date with the scoreline because my link crashed. No worries about the grand final. The live stream will be okay. I've just today I purchased the Watch AFL weekly pass today, so I'll have that game live. I'm going to have to try and get it away. I can link it to the TV and have a camera. I'm going to try and get my camera linked to my phone for the live stream as well, so you're getting better stream quality. I don't know if it'll work. I've bought a wee sort of cable, an OTG cable that should link my phone to the camera. Fingers crossed it works and I can live stream with the camera and get good quality video with the camera. Read the comments on my phone, so it's just a picture there, and have on another device streaming the Watch AFL, Chromecasting it, or casting it, screencasting onto the big TV. Trying to get the setup as good as possible for the grand final. Don't worry about that. I'll definitely get the live final thing, but it will be through the internet, so there could be a delay. I was going to get it through the satellite, but the satellite was looking £35 to set it up, and then £30 for the pass for the month. So you're talking £65 for a game, and I thought I'll just watch it through the AFL app. It might be a few seconds delay. It might not be too bad actually, but bear with me. I hope it's not too annoying for you. Anyway, that's what we're doing. We're going to watch it through the Watch AFL app. I have actually watched quite a few games through that before, and the quality is fantastic, so the quality shouldn't be a problem. Just the sort of time delay, that's what I'm thinking. There could be a few seconds between what you're watching on your TV and then what you're watching me streaming at, so I hope there'll be a delay anyway because I'm streaming. Richmond reserves won the grand final. Seen that there. I seen Collingwood ladies won the VFL. Is it the VFL one? I think they've won that VFLW. So there's quite a few grand finals today and yesterday in all the different states, and obviously women, juniors, reserves, whatever. You know what I'm at. I want to say one thing. Williamstown versus Richmond. I actually seen that. I seen that a little bit of the highlight there at the very end. Emmett, I absolutely 100% agree with you. I think Brodie Grundy right now has been the best ruckman in the league. Had it been a fit Nicknat, I would have said Nicknat, but he's not been fit, so it's definitely Grundy. Dylan, you know who got me the AFL stream because it was you. The Watch AFL. I paid for it this week for the grand final. Out of the channel money, so I cannot miss the grand final regardless if I live stream it or not. I'm watching it, and I want to watch it in a good quality, so that hopefully no technical issues come Saturday next week for the grand final, and I can live stream it. Hopefully my voice is a little bit better as well. I don't know why I've come up with this, because I was actually out kicking the Sharon yesterday with a wee girl, kick passing it to each other, and I was taking some shots and stuff. Well, a lot of different tips as well. Dropping it right low to the ground and kicking it lower to the ground has improved massively. Having a lower kick, like an arrow, definitely see the benefits of that. And I'm doing that with the passes with the daughter. Some of the shots that you might have seen me putting up on social media of my daughter, she actually did way better when I wasn't recording. So she's picking up the kicking as well really, really quickly. I'm quite impressed with it actually. So we're both practicing at that. There's Brains. She's coming in. Brains, did you enjoy kick passing it with me? Yeah. Kicking it over the bar as well. You were dropping it down nice, weren't you? Yeah. Dropping it and then kicking it low with a straight leg, straight foot.
That thing's sore.
It's a little bit.
Because when I kicked it, it would really hurt me.
Did you see the story about Jeremy? Wallet. He's found a wallet when he was training. He was kicking some shots. He said he wrote a handwritten letter to the supporter. He put $50 in the wallet and said to him, go and buy, I think, a beanie and a scarf with the money for the grand final. The mullet, mate. The mullet. I don't know if you're getting a good view of that. So there's the mullet. The mullet is sponsorable as an AFL mullet, just that you've mentioned that. I need to mention, you can sponsor the mullet on the Just Giving thing in the link description below if you want to. And all that money is going into paying for our trip to Australia for 2021. That is my year that I'm planning on coming with a family, and we're going to do a huge vlogging trip around the grounds and around touristy parts of Australia. So if you want to sponsor the mullet, check it out in the description below. Thanks very much. Perm the mullet, oh my word. The only thing I can say about that is I get enough abuse in my work, and it's not perm because absolutely nobody has a mullet where I live. I'm the only nutcase. I see it when I'm going into shops, people kind of giving me a look like he's got a mullet, that lad, he's mental. So, Giant supporters intrigue me. Joshua didn't support a different team before 2012. That's from Eddie. Joshua, do you care to answer that one? I think with the Giants thing, it's a little bit like if you look at the Brisbane Lions as well. The Gabba was quite quiet most of the year round until they put a good run in. Gabba was rocking. So with the Giants, a lot of people are possibly and do you know what? It's quite healthy. Oh, Diane. Oh my word, is that a request? I don't know if that donation's you want me to perm the mullet, Dan. Thanks very much for the donation, Dan. Really, really appreciate it. Very, very generous. Nice talk with you today, by the way, as well. I was enjoying that little texting thing. I had to go up and get a wash. That's why I never got back to you. So you're here now, so you can talk here. Thanks for the talk anyway, and the donation, really kind. And you says tips on it as well. Well, do you know what? If you keep the sponsors coming in, I'll let the mullet grow. I'll get it perm, but you have to sponsor it. I'm not permanent and putting tips in it. Diane, you've done that. I'll definitely look at the permanent side of it. The tips could be a bridge too far. If other people jump on the bandwagon and donate to me or super chat me now and say it's for the mullet, say it's for the mullet, specify in your message it's for the mullet, I'll look into permanent. And I'm not joking you. I'm going to have to take a video of the reactions of when I walk into my work and people see my perm mullet. I will be slaughtered. Absolutely slaughtered. And rightly so. A little bit like the Dermy Brereton, and that's what it might look like. He has like the sort of golden locks, the golden perm mullet, didn't he, back in the day? Remember the scenes in the 1989 grand final where he's had that perm the mullet, Joshua. WAFL, Western Australia. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sabayako won the WAF. Congratulations to them. Yes, a big Dermy job. Well, do you know what? He had it a little bit longer on the top, but certainly I want it bouncing a little bit, a bit of volume and character in the permed mullet. It might actually look good blonde at the back, like going lighter and lighter, and then blonde and permed bobbly mullet with the old headband in. Subayako. Right, okay. Subia, right. Oh, conflict of spellings here. So I've got Mark, mate. I think you missed this live stream the last week. I was just leaving. Thanks very much for joining. I think I've seen Rob there as well. Apologies for my voice, everyone. I don't know what's happened. I've just woke up with this. AFL football cards. Interesting. I'll tell you a little bit. I think obviously you've seen me kicking the Sharon this week, which I've absolutely loved, by the way. I believe there's girl teams near us as well, so I'm hoping to maybe check out, do they do youth teams? I doubt they do youth. I know they do ladies training, but I hope they do girls training. I've got to turn up and see what it's all about and take the girls to the footy team local to me. There's one really, really close. There's not a man's team close, but there's hopefully girls. Really, really want to check that out. If not, I'm going to keep practicing with the footy, just doing loads of different stuff with me and a couple of other people that I might get involved in there as well. But all the advice there has been phenomenal. I have actually, right, people might say that's slightly cheeky, but you don't ask, you don't get. I've actually emailed Sharon Australia obviously the Kangaroo brand itself, the main brand, and asked them for a free footy, the proper ones that they use. These are about $190. Could not believe it when I looked at the website. Absolutely blew away at the prices that they're charging. I believe that they're probably the Premiership balls though, so they're the professional footy. But, you know, I've asked it for the channel. I'm going to give them a shout out, said thanks very much, and all the rest of it, all the dignitaries of what you should do when you get a gift, and also give them videos and huge shout outs of me actually practicing with their footy, because everyone's commenting on the one that I have got is not a proper ball. It's too light, and I've noticed that when I'm kicking it, sometimes as perfectly as I'm going to get right now, and it's really windy, it just blows it right at the end because it's so lightweight. So I feel it's too light. It's not the right one for that job, but it's really good to practice with anyway. But for getting better accuracy more often, I've asked Sharon for one. Hopefully they'll give me one. Your Avon feet. Dylan, it was Avon hands a week ago. Now it's Avon feet. Do you know when I was in the army, I actually got told they were checking my feet, because they check your feet every so often, make sure you're looking after them and you've got no ingrown toenails. Don't want to go into too much details, but just make sure you're fit to soldier and your feet aren't too bad. The corporal that was in charge when I was in training goes, Don, you've got fucking hobbit feet, mate. And by God, I laughed about that for ages. That was hilarious. Don, you've got fucking hobbit feet, mate. Brilliant. There's a couple of comments there. Apologies, I just missed them there. Hairy feet. I don't know. They weren't even that hairy. I just think that he just picked on me and he wanted to say it to someone. They're not too bad, my feet. Well, I reckon as far as feet go, my feet are quite ugly. But hobbit feet, definitely not for the hair. They're not that hairy. So unless it's because I'm not very tall. Maybe he's looking at my feet and going, I don't know, I'm a size 8 feet. Do you do feet sizes like that in Australia? In Europe, they do 40 odds. In the UK, we do 7, 8, 9s and stuff like that there. They've got it away up in the 40s. I don't know what the hell they're doing in Europe. And America is a size bigger than ours as well. So I don't know what sizes they are in Europe, Australia. But yeah, so I'm like a size 8 UK size foot. I don't know where the hell he got this from. Hobbit feet. But I laughed my end at that. I thought that was fucking brilliant. But now I've got Avon feet. But it's all good, brother. So the grand final next week is Richmond versus the Giants. Toby Greene will be back. Of course, the most hated figure probably in the AFL. If you were just talking about him in terms of his footy ability, he's probably one of the players that everybody would say is up there with the best. But an absolute scumbag on the footy field. There's no doubt about that. I kind of like the dirty edge to it. I don't like eye gouging. I kind of like the dirty edge to it, but within reason. As I said, be dirty in other ways. Leaving a shoulder in on someone when you quite rightly know you're not getting the ball. Just letting them know you're there. Don't have a problem with that. But if you're going to start doing things like eye gouging, I would rather he punch someone, to be honest with you. Eye gouging, it's a no-go zone. It's actually quite weak and pathetic. And for somebody so good, he really doesn't need to do that. But you find that in a lot of sports when you've got guys that are very good at something. They have this just Jekyll and Hyde type fucking personality where they just do idiotic things. And I'd imagine his coaches and everything are just like, oh, for fuck's sake, Toby, mate, what are you playing at? Do you know what I mean? What are you doing? Somebody asked me who I think will win. The Giants have proved me wrong 2 weeks in a row. Richmond were my pick a few weeks back to win it. And I never really said it out loud as much. But it's Richmond for me. The Tigers will be 2019 flag winners. The Premiership winners will be the Tigers. And the best on field, the Norm Smith medal, will go to the man who's starting to shine. They don't argue king of the AFL. Well, it's between him and Ben Cunnington. Dusty Martin. Dusty was absolutely phenomenal. He did something on Friday that I've not actually seen anybody doing. It was absolutely sensational. they've kind of all got down on the ground. He's managed to keep it alive, dragged the ball out with one arm, flicked it up out of the pack on the ground, got it up, scooped it up even from everyone up into there, and kicked a lovely pass across his body and into a teammate. Absolutely beautiful bit of skill. He had no right to do it. Very early on, when you thought, oh shit, his knee's away here, he missed an undusted, like just at the edge of the goal square, I think. He put it for a behind, and I just could not believe it. Hi Lee, how's it going? Clayton's Premiership Tigers 11 out of 12. Incredible. Even if you just look at it in terms of not the MCG, I think before finals they had 9 wins in a row after the Lions game. Before that, beat the Lions, got into the prelims, they then beat Geelong. What does that make it? 11. Is this going for 12 straight wins in a row? By any standard, that is absolutely outstanding. I feel that they play, and me and Dan were talking about this, and I says to Dan, I think the Tigers play the sexiest footy in the league. It's beautiful to watch. If you're any soccer fans here as well as obviously the footy, you'll know the tiki-taka of Barcelona. I feel that when Richmond are on their game, that's the sort of standard you're getting. Lovely handballing game, even their short passing, kick passes to each other. They're just all in sync. They're all moving for each other. They have a beautiful flow to them. And in that last quarter as well, if you look at the highlights, Lynch, absolutely outstanding. He's come from the Suns there. Was it last year? Is this his second year at Richmond or his first year? I'm not too sure. But anyway, he was absolutely outstanding. He's kicked 5 in the prelim final. So congratulations to him. He's a player I really, really like. Jack Rewalt has probably had one of the worst games. He's another player that's not liked by many people within the AFL. But I feel that he had, in my opinion, from what I saw of the game on the live stream, in my work, I was watching it on my break. On my phone, I watched some of it, and then I watched some of it when I got home. I feel that was probably one of his, if not his worst game I've ever saw him having for the Tigers. They were wounded Tigers in the start of that game. The Geelong hit them hard. Ablett Jr. was playing well. Dangerfield was playing. Just the normal people. To be honest, Ratagaleo, the Fijian lad, I think he's going to be absolutely outstanding next year. He is coming into a game, and I think Kelly, I don't know if he's going to be staying at Geelong. There's a lot of talk of him leaving. If he stays at Geelong, possibly their best player next year. I think you're seeing Gary Ablett Jr. coming to the end of his career now. He looked tired at times. He really did. He was beaten for pace on a couple of occasions. He was beaten for strength on a couple of occasions. Awareness, maybe he's got it in his head, but his body just can't do it anymore as much. He can still turn it on at times in the game, but it's few and far between now. You're just not getting the 100% of what you would have got from him in the years gone by. But what a career he's had. Arguably the best player of the modern game. Of the last 10-15 years, arguably the best in the last 10-15 years, certainly is Gary Ablett Jr. But I certainly felt that he wasn't that hot, and he hasn't been that hot of late. Maybe one or two, but Kelly has been. He's going back to Perth. I'm not too sure. I read that myself. I think he is leaving, but he was absolutely outstanding at times on Friday. Really enjoyed him. Such a big guy. He's quick. He can kick it from 50 metres, no problem at all. He's aggressive. He's everything that you would want in a player, really, isn't he? Body Lance Franklin was probably, well, there's no doubt about it. Certainly, he's been better at that age. But in terms of players right now, I think that's a good comparison, actually, with the physical side of them. They're two big guys, aren't they? As a player, I really like to watch, but as I said, that last quarter, what I said on Thursday when my predictions was, I think Richmond will come alive in that last quarter, and they'll show that they are a quality outfit, and they're just too good. And I feel they're just too good for anyone on their day when they're playing their game, particularly being at the MCG now. It could be a convincing win on Saturday. It really could. Colin Wobbles, 100%. Certainly in the early stages of the game. Nathan Buckley must be banging his head against a brick wall, wondering what the fucking hell he's got to do to win a trophy. They're always there or thereabouts the finals. Footy, of course, last year's grand finalists, runners-up. Myers was amazing as well. Thanks very much. He was amazing as well. The little man. Enjoyed his game. A player that I never mentioned for the Giants, actually, I want to mention him now. We're talking about Collingwood. He's a player I really, really like. He's not a big guy. It's Caleb Daniels. Thought he was out. It's Caleb Daniels, isn't it? Is that his name? I think that's his name. Very, very good game. A couple of other players. My head's going blank here because I'm thinking about just other things that's been getting said here. But anyway, we're going back to Colin Wobbles. Colin Wobbles, well, when you think how many players were out for the Giants, yeah, you're correct. Thanks very much. I thought he was fantastic as well for the Giants. But when you think of how many players were out for the Giants and you think of it being at the MCG, how well Collingwood's been playing, they've absolutely shit themselves on the occasion, I think, Collingwood. They really have. I don't think it was one. I don't know. Stats might lie, but I don't want to go too much into stats. But your big players, Big Reedy up there, you've got Pendlebury. There's so many players. Like, this is such a low-scoring game. I would have thought there'd have been a lot. I thought Jaden Stevenson, he got one really, really early on. He's kicked it from around 45 metres. He's actually sold a bit of candy, picked up the ball. The boys come across him, should have made the tackle, took a step back, sold a bit of candy, got it onto a favoured foot, and kicked it from 45. That was an incredible goal from Jaden Stevenson. I think he actually offers more at times than De Goey, but there's too many people that like De Goey more. But if we had, Jaden Stevenson hadn't had those bans and he hadn't done what he had done, I think a lot more people would have been saying Stevenson's the better player, just in my opinion. Obviously, the likes of Grundy, fantastic. So many players there that haven't inspired that Collingwood victory. Was it the occasion? It has to be. It has to be the fact that it was a preliminary final. It's got to them. It's really got to them psychologically. Because no doubt about it, I feel that they're a better team than the Giants. But the Giants, for me, have been playing like Giants the last couple of weeks. Like I've said a few weeks back, can't remember what round, when they blew me away, how well they played. They were just physical and they're strong team. Really, really good. Toby Greene's a flog. He's a flog that can play though, isn't he? He's a flog that can play. I mean, you need to look at going back to last week when they played the Lions. I can't remember how many goals he kicked, but the guy is he says he's a flog. He's also a gun. He's both. He's good. It's the good, it's the bad, it's the ugly with Toby Greene. I, for one, if I was going to games, I'd want a Toby Greene in my team. I wouldn't want to come up against that wee guy. He's got the potential to win a game for you. He's up there with your Lockie Neals. He's up there with your Patrick Cripps. He's up there with these guys. Maybe not as good as them, but he's up there. Could he inspire a shock grand final victory? I don't know if the other guys who have been out from injury this last week or so will be back. I do not know. I'm going to have to wait and see what happens with the week coming up. It's not going to cause them any problems having another week to recover. I still see a Richmond win. As I said at the very start, for anyone who joined, Rob, you have said that for a while now. You think GWS will surprise a lot of people. Never surrender in the motto. It's a good motto. Glasgow Rangers have a motto of no surrender. So kind of similar. You never surrender, no surrender. I quite like that. And nor should you. And do you know what? If you can stop Richmond playing in the first half of the game, you could make a lot of Tigers fans, because there's going to be no doubt about it. The MCG is going to be a sea of yellow and black, really, isn't it? They're the biggest club, arguably, in the whole competition. them or Collingwood in terms of members and supporters. They're an absolute force to be reckoned with when it comes to a fan base. So if you can get them silent in the first half and keep their scoring down and get the players nervous and get the crowd nervous, then get your players like your Jeremy Camerons. And a shout out to the little Cameron. Is it Bobby? Bobby Cameron. Bobby Cameron, the little Indigenous player. He's only young. He's been a player I seen a few weeks ago. I like the trickery of him. If he can play and shine, that is a player I really, really like the look of. He, not this year's rising star, certainly not. He's came on the scene too late. But make no mistake, that's a player there. I'm not going to write GWS off. What I'm saying is, on my predictions, you're going to tune into my predictions on Thursday. My opinion won't change based on the fact that Richmond's form's incredible. They have a brand of footy that's sexy as fuck. It's arousing at times. Dusty, as I've said time and time again, Dusty Martin, all the women want him, all the men want to be him. Write him off at your peril. The guy's just an absolute freak of nature. Even when he missed that kick from outside of the goal square very early on, I think it was the first or second quarter, he was carrying a bit of a knock. I think it was just a knock. By the time he started to run that off, he was just I just can't speak highly enough of the player. Of course, he won the best man on the field in the 2017 grand final. Can he do it again in 2019? I think he will. That's my prediction. Richmond Tigers win, and him to be the best player on the field. Is that the Norm Smith medal, isn't it? Well, that's it. When you look at the way Dangerfield was playing in the first half, you could actually argue that his second half, that was Dangerfield playing. This is the question I have to ask any Cats fans. What was your impression of your big players like Dangerfield and Ablett? These are the guys, the senior players that have been in so-called done it. Why is Dangerfield's second half bad? He should be getting stronger in the game, like you see in Dusty, leading from the front, leading by example, inspiring the players who in the team who haven't done it before, and lifting everyone. And that's exactly what you didn't get from Dangerfield. Dangerfield for me is probably another one that his best years are possibly behind him. I mean, there's no doubt in some of the videos I've watched of Dangerfield, what a player he's been in his career. Unbelievable. But he's not doing it enough anymore. And if you're being honest and true to yourself, in your heart of hearts, you'll see what I'm seeing as a neutral. I've watched a lot of Dangerfield. There's a lot of stuff I go, wow, how did he do that? The problem I have with Dangerfield is I'm not saying, wow, how did he do that? Wow, how did he do that? Wow, how did he do that? For a full 4 quarters. I'm just not seeing it. Lucas says the Brownlow is on this week. Yeah, so Colin, mate, you're a Cats fan. What was your take? You said it 13, exactly. Like when you look at the way Richmond played, particularly in towards the end of the third and the fourth quarter, what was your take on Dangerfield? I don't want to be too hard on the guy. I'm interested to hear Cats fans here, because you don't want to ridicule a guy like Dangerfield who, there's no denying that he's a legend of the game. Gary Ablett Jr., they're legends of the game, but there comes a time in everybody's career where you've just got to be honest with yourself and say, are they good enough for this level anymore? Or do we need to look at bringing a younger, fresher guy in? Look at Lynch there. This is what the next generation's all about. Absolutely outstanding. He inspired the team to victory as well. For such a young guy, 5 goals. He stepped up. Brownlow Medal count is on Monday. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do then for the Donlow Medal is we're going to reduce it down to 5. The 5 best players, no matter the position. And you know what? I really, really want to put this out there. Spuds passed away last week. The Golden Fist. Do not. I watched loads of stuff about Spud this last week. The man was just infectious. I watched on Watch AFL. They've got a thing that they've done on Fox Footy there. or like about him. Danny Frawley, sorry, my head went blank there. Great man. It's very sad passing, but he campaigned for the Golden Fist. Do not forget defenders when you're saying players that have been outstanding this year. The Donlow Medal is not the Brownlow Medal. Certainly not. You know who's going to get the Brownlow. It's going to be midfielders. It's going to be, as everyone says, it's the guys who are in front of the umpires, and more often than not, it's the guys that the umpires are seeing. It's your Sydney Stack for a young player, maybe. Darcy Moore, wow, unbelievable. This is it. This is what I'm saying. So if we can, as a kind of channel community, AFL community here, my task is in the comment section below, narrow it down to your 5 best. In the comment section after this, everybody who's on the live stream or who watches the video afterwards, please put your 5 top players, no matter the team. Be as honest. I have got players wrote down for my Brownlow or Donlow sheet. I'll go through all those names as well. I'll also put mine in, and then what we'll do is Basha really unbelievable. These are guys that are unsung heroes, absolutely outstanding players. Crap game, mate. Ireland 26, Scotland 3. Yeah, it's on in the background. It's full time there. I've seen that there. We could even do a defender award if you want, but I was just thinking, Nat 5's certainly up there. I feel with Nat 5 though, and I'm just based on what I've started watching the AFL from about round, what was it, about 11 or 12, 13, week 13, I can't remember, but Nat 5 was outstanding, then he went so quiet, then he came good again. So I don't think he was consistent enough to get the Donlow Medal, but certainly in the top 5 players, he could certainly be nominated for that, and then we'll narrow it down to the overall winner. I'll probably do mine Tuesday. So a lot of names coming through here. So in the comment section after the live stream, put your 5 top players. I'm going to say I think I would be surprised if the Brownlow Medal doesn't either go to Patrick Cripps or Lockie Neal. If it doesn't go to them, I'll be stunned. I think Kelly was up there as well. Maybe the fact that he's played another round might give him a slight bit of advantage over other players, but who's the rising star then? For your rising star, who do you think? I was going to go with Walsh or Rosie, possibly Sydney Stack. They're my 3. Bobby Hill, unreal. Who did I say? Who did I say earlier on when I was going on about that Cameron for the Giants? I think it was Bobby Hill I meant. It was Bobby Hill I meant. That's the young guy, the Indigenous player, and you said Bobby Hill. I think it's too late. He's came in too late for the rising star. I think Walshy maybe. Grant, definitely. Brian Myers should be interested. Ian Hill, not too sure. Him. Too much about him. I'm just reading the comments here. Absolutely outstanding stuff anyway. I'm really looking forward to the grand final. I will do my predictions video on Thursday. I promise I'll get I did promise last Sunday. Myers, a lot of people putting Myers in. Yeah, so Cam Smith, just reading quite a few of these names. Rob Cam Smith in there. A lot of a nice variation there. So if you want to break it down into sections for me, after it, put it in the comment section after the video. Comment on the video. Put your 5 for the Donlow Medal, and I'll go on the average, and then we'll put it to vote on the community section, maybe on Tuesday, and I'll do the same with the Rising Star. We'll narrow the Rising Star down to 5, but I'm going to announce, and do you know something? My opinion changed slightly. and who I'm swinging for when it comes to the Thuglow medal, the roughest and toughest Mongrel medal, was narrowed down to Ben Cunnington of North Melbourne and Lions. My head's went blank. Mitch Robinson. Yes. Those two players, I think they give you everything. They play for the team. They don't necessarily do all the fancy stuff. They get all the credit. But there's no denying that they play for the badge. They play for the people in the stands. They play with heart. They're physically strong. They're hard bastards. They'll put their body on the line. They'll shy out at nothing. Caleb Daniel, do you know something? It's a good shout. We'll announce it soon. Who do you think is a loyal player? Garrett Cotterill. Mitch Robinson's a loyal player. I think he absolutely bleeds that club. You can see that. Who is Toby Greene? Toby Greene should be in for the Jekyll and Hyde medal. Absolutely unbelievable. High as a kite. Amazing. To absolutely low as fucking pawn life scumbag at times. But that's what makes me... It draws me to him in a way, because you just don't know what he's going to do next. He could go up and score 5 goals and then go and fucking kick somebody in the throat with the studs when he's going up to take a mark. He's so unpredictable. Grublow winner. There's one. Grublow should be for certainly the kind of trampy players that everybody loves to hate. The villain, the AFL villain medal. The lowest of the low, Dan. The lowest of the low. The Grublow medal sounds quite good. Kiri, thanks very much for joining. I think that's just the first comment I've seen you going, go GWS. Do you know something? My predictions have been poor in finals footy. It's like what everybody said. Wait till you see finals footy. You just can't call it. It's absolutely outstanding. Players just crank it up a level. Go forever and pull out of nothing. Not nice footy at times, but certainly you can't take your eyes off it for a single second. You're on the edge of your seat. It's frantic. I'd imagine in the stands, if you're supporting, you're nervous. Certainly if you're Collingwood coming back, and then you look at the Giants coach at the end like that. That's what it means. You're just fired up. The emotion. That's what footy's all about. That's what sport's all about. Pure, unadulterated, unrivaled passion. Outstanding to see the Giants get in there. Congratulations to them for it. But can they beat another Melbourne side 2 weeks in a row to secure that silver bad boy? Who is harder, Mitch Robinson? Who is more of a mongrel, Mitch Robinson or Ben Cunnington? Vote now, because I'm interested in this one. What I've seen of Mitch Robinson for the Lions in the last 13 games or so is an absolute... is a warrior. A warrior. He is not afraid to get injured for the cause. Puts his body on the line. I think what you see with Cunnington is sometimes maybe a little bit more of a... not so much of a Toby Greene edge. That grub-like. But he has got it in him to get fined an awful lot. To break rules. He's a little bit more dirtier than Robinson. But Robinson's just one hard man. He would run through a brick wall for the Lions. The commitment's sensational. The loyalty to the club's sensational. He's a player I absolutely love. He's not afraid to share his opinion on social media, even if it means slating the AFL governing body. He's got an opinion, he'll say it. He calls a spade a spade. I kind of like that about him. it's maybe some people might say, you've just mentioned Huts. Hodge is retired now. Hodge in that last game for the Lions against the Giants was absolutely outstanding. He went out with his head held high, 4 premierships to his name, an absolute legend of the sport. I absolutely loved him, and as you say, he's got guts, he's got determination, he's carved from fucking Australian granite. He just epitomises what it means to play for the badge. I loved watching him in that Giants game, and I wish him well in his future outside of the playing game. I'm sure he'll have some sort of involvement, maybe in coaching, maybe in the media, but I'd like to see him in a coaching role, because I think he's tough. When you look at how vocal he was in that last game, he was organising around him for the full game. He was just organising. He was talking to the younger players. He was talking to everyone. He was just the glue keeping everyone together. So he's definitely got, no question, he's got leadership qualities. He's hard. He's going to be respected. Nobody's going to want to cross him. He's not going to be afraid for a bit of a biff in the dressing room. Definitely not. But I don't think he'll have to. Such is the man, such is the respect that he's got. The respect, people will just respond to what he's asking them to do. I'd love, Selwood's another one. I'd love to see him going into coaching. I think when you look at some of the dinosaurs in the game in coaching right now, you've got one at Port Adelaide, Hinckley, your boy that's just left, Freo. Absolute fucking dinosaurs. The Pike as well, there's left the Crows. Dinosaurs. Somebody like Hodgie coming in could be good for the game. When you look at Selwood there for, what game was it? Against West Coast Eagles, where he's bust his face wide open. He inspired that victory. It was incredible. He's another player I like, and I always say Dangerfield Ablett, and I forget Selwood being the senior player. Absolutely outstanding. Another one like Hodge, really, isn't it? Your Robinsons maybe younger than them, but that type of attitude where they don't care about possibly injuring themselves if it means winning the ball for their team, breaking up play, stopping an attack, just absolutely giving it their all. And as you say, he's probably spilled more blood on the field than any other player. I have seen him split quite a few times, which that's quite funny, but very, very true. A player I really, really like as well, actually. So I'm glad you mentioned him. You've reminded me of him. I always seem to forget him. Couple of comments. So Mitch Robinson seems to be the people's favourite when it comes are we calling it a Mitch Robinson for the Don's channel? Roughest and toughest Mongrel medal. I'm not going to say Thuglow. I think that's a little bit cheeky to Mitch Robinson. I wouldn't really call him a thug. Possibly call Cunnington at times a thug. But I'm going to call it congratulations to Mitch Robinson. In my opinion, I'm giving it, you're saying Cunnington, Dylan, mate, I would have agreed with you up until the last, when the, excuse me, can hardly talk, when the Lions won their 8 or 9 games in a row, and you just look at the way Mitch Robinson was just playing. I love him. We've spoke about him on the phone. He's a player I admire. Even in the finals, he plays with guts. He's got himself injured as well. I just love the guy. Cunnington's a player I like. I just don't think he possesses as much quality as what you're saying. Robinson is a better footy player in my opinion than Cunnington. Cunnington's maybe physically harder, but I'm giving this year's award because he's been doing it for longer at the end of the year and into the finals. I know North Melbourne weren't in it, but I don't care if they were. I still think Mitch Robinson has been the Don's Channel roughest and toughest mongrel winner of 2019. Give it up for Mitchy boy. And I'm going to actually fucking message him on social media. Spread the word. Mitch Robinson, the Don's Channel roughest and toughest mongrel medal. Congratulations, Mitch Robinson. You are the winner of the 2019 medal. Oh, there's no doubt. It was a very, very tight call for me giving it over Cunnington. Cunnington was had the work hand on it weeks ago, and I said that myself, mate. Winner. We have our first winner on the Don's Channel. I nearly spilt my bloody mug because I'm getting that excited. I'll get the medal soon down at the trophy shop, and let's try. Everybody help me. Let's try and get in touch with the winners and tell them there's a Don's Channel medal coming their way, and they can put it in pride of place in their house. See all those Brownlow medals and those all Australian fucking things that you get, and you have to dress like you're some sort of posh cricket player. Get that freaking thing. Leave the bloody blazers to the golfers. That's freaking pansy-like. The Donlow medal for the winner of the overall best player in the competition. The roughest and toughest mongrel medal. I think if we were going to do a fucking Grublow medal, you know who the winner is there. We haven't actually called that. Rising Star. It's between 2 or 3 players in my head, but do put your comments in the video below. And also, I'm going to do a bonus one. I've just decided for Danny Frawley. God bless him, and I swear, gone but never forgotten. Sorry, I can barely say it. Gone but never forgotten. It's my voice. Apologies for that. The Golden Fist, we'll do a Don's Channel Golden Fist Award in memory of him, because I absolutely love the guy. I've just watched endless stuff on him. The practical jokes. Him and Jason Dunstall doing their competitions over the years on all different gymnastics, swimming, anything, just acting like absolute idiots for entertainment purposes, and just being a great guy. He campaigned for the defenders. We're going to do a defender medal as well. So 4 medals on the Don's Channel. Let's pick a defender between us. The best defender in the competition of 2019. And let's try and get this done by Tuesday this week coming, before the grand final. And we'll pick all of our winners and we'll post them all up. I'll get the medals from a local trophy shop or something like that. I don't know. But we'll get them, and we'll hopefully get them posted out to these legends of 2019. Come on! Quite a lot of people are writing other stuff. A reaction vid would be hilarious. What to the medals? Thanks, Dan. Somebody's saying about the castle. I think I've actually seen that. If it's Spud, if it's about Spud, I think I've seen something in the if you go and watch AFL's app. I don't know if any of you have got it, but they've got about an hour-long video there you can watch. Can I have a shout-out? Henry Martin, you can have a shout-out. Henry Martin. Ewan, mate, from Govan in Glasgow, big Rangers man. Pick a runner-up and I'll send him some Avon. You might not be the winner of the medal, but you'll have some glorious, soft, delicate hands. I think Trelaw is going to have the most disposals, isn't he? He's been absolutely outstanding this year as well. Alright, which when people were talking about Danny Frawley, they were talking about all the different shows that he was doing on the thing. I don't know. Apologies for that. He never did that then. It was a film, an Australian film. Tell me about it later. Grimes is without doubt the best defender this year. Nice shout out there to Danny Spud Frawley. He's a legend of the game and a huge character. That just went off the screen there. Sorry about that. I was trying to read that. Rob. Toby Greene to take Dusty. Now I draw a line at that statement, Robert. And I'll tell you why. Dusty is like a man possessed right now. He will do... Did you see the bit with him and Dangerfield? Dangerfield and Dusty were at each other the whole game. And Dangerfield shoved him a little bit and Dusty, bang! Smashed Dangerfield back. and then Dangerfield's laughing and giving it the old talk again. I think Dusty is a man that you don't want to take for granted. If Toby's going to want to get on the wrong side of him, I think he's as hard as a fucking bag of nails. Hard as a coffin nail. I think Toby Greene might have just bit off a little bit more than he can chew. And Dustin Martin, he's got that crazy look in his eye. And if Toby Greene wants to take it outside, I'm sure there'll be motorcycles revving their engines as well. And Toby Greene will soon fill his pants with the brown stuff. You don't fuck with Dusty Martin. I actually want to see what Nick Natanui, when the boy pulled his dreadlocks, can't remember what game that was, it was about 4 weeks ago, and he's, it was at the MCG, I think, was it? No, it was at the Optus. I've not got my old games, let me see. Essendon, it was against Essendon. West Coast Eagles smashed them 116-61 at the Optus Stadium on Thursday the 5th of September 2019, and he dared pull those absolutely beautiful Rasta-like dreadlocks of the big Nick Natanui. And what did Nick Natanui do? He caught him by the throat, picked him up like the Big Show, and fucked him into the fence. Sit down, wee man. So, Toby Greene, my friend, shout out to Toby Greene. This year, in the grand final, if you see fit, try your luck with Dustin Martin. And if you want a set of balls, try pulling the dreadlocks of Nick Natanui, and you will be speared through the mouth of the fence with somebody's pint of Victorian bitter coming out the other side, spilling. End of Toby Greene. Oh, Nick Nat is the man. You and me, I have passion for this man. I've got no doubt in my mind, and I don't know what everybody else will think about this, but if you get a fit Nick Natanui, big Nick Nat, if you get a fit one, he's the best player in the competition. He's a freak of freaking nature. A special award for best song. Is that what you mean? Anthony McDonald up in Woody playing footy. I've got the same hairstyle as them. Kerry, I think you're West Coast Eagles. You're from Perth, aren't you? Up on the West Coast there. Big Eagles supporter. He got a £1,500 fine. They should have gave him £1,500. What kind of pussy pulls a man's hair? And as Big Nick Nat said, it was instinctive. I don't feel like I did anything wrong. If somebody was to do it again, I would do the same reaction again. So I love it. Just, do you know what? I don't care. Take the $1,500. I'll do it again. Do it again, and you'll be wearing that defence for Christmas. You scumbag that you are. Did I not say dollars? Well, £1,500, $3,000. He'll pay it. He doesn't care who gets a hold of the dreadies. Don't touch the fucking dreadies. Don't touch the dreadies. You can hit me in the jaw. You can hit me in the ribs. You can in the solar plexus. You can do what you like. You can even stud me if you like. But if you touch the bloody dreadlocks, you will be sucking your dinner through a straw for the foreseeable future, my friend. Love that man. And you can argue that he was possibly on, when he picked him up like that, was him and Willie Rioli taking the same substances. Such was the strength. It was like saying out the WWE, the choke slam. I did say the choke slam. You could argue, maybe he got away with one. Maybe he's got away with one, Nick Nat. E-girls, no touch hair ever. You definitely don't touch hair. But I feel like I'm getting towards the end of the stream now. I'm actually enjoying the chat, but my throat is actually starting to dry up here. Average wage is $350,000 a year, I think. That's unbelievable money, though. Really, like, so £175,000 a year. That is absolutely outstanding money. There's actually a young lad right next to where I live signing for Essendon. He's already his first draft pick from Ireland, I think. One of them, Ross McQuillan, he's called. He's from about 10-15 minutes drive from where I stay right now. On the other way from Conor McKenna, down the way, in the same county. He is apparently the fastest player at Essendon there, over 20 metres. So looking forward to see what he can do. I think that he's only 18, so I don't know if he'll be playing just yet or if he'll be playing in the VFL. Don't know how it'll work for him, but I wish him well. He's, of course, one of several Irish players coming over to play the game. So we'll see how they go. There's a lot of females coming from Ireland now to play. You'll seen the Bulldogs sign one, I think. Melbourne, the Demons, they've signed one recently. So there's a lot of girls coming over and playing in the ladies' game, which is very, very good to see. It's a professional game as well, which is quite exciting to see that. So it's certainly worthwhile sticking in if you're a girl. Hello everyone that's joining. Any well-known Scottish AFL? Scotland does have a league. I don't know if they would be anywhere near the standard, or we could be a generation away from seeing youngsters really playing it. But there is a Scottish league. There is Scottish teams. I don't know if Glasgow has one. Fife has one. If you know where Raith Rovers in Kirkcaldy, where Raith Rovers play, there's a Fife team in the AFL there. There's an Edinburgh team as well. I think there's a few teams in Scotland, a few teams in England, quite a few teams in Ireland. All over Europe there's some teams as well. So I'm going to be looking into doing that when the season starts back up again. They did have their grand final, which the Belfast Redbacks won about 3 weeks ago down in Dublin. So congratulations to them. They are 2 years in a row winners of the Irish game, Belfast Redbacks. Well done, lads. So a shout out. Their parent club being Essendon, the Bombers, as well. So quite every team outside has a parent club, and they'll get their their old kits and stuff, etc. So it's quite good to see. I think there actually has been players from Scotland of Scottish descent rather than directly from Scotland. Obviously, Essendon were founded by a Scotsman from Ayrshire. There is huge Scottish roots in terms of the game being established. Massive roots there in the beginnings of the game, which is quite good to see as well. I think when you look at certain names within the AFL, as somebody pointed out to me there, but it's very true, if you see mix and stuff like that there's a good chance they're from Scotland or possibly Ireland as well. But there's definite Australia as a whole, huge Scottish descendancy from your beginnings. But in terms of the AFL as well, oh, here we've got England coming up in the rugby against, who is their game? Is it Tonga? Well, when you look at Danny Frawley's funeral, the bagpipers parading the hearse down through the field, playing. I don't know. I can't remember what tune it played. I never really watched that whole video there. I just seen a clip of it. So he's got a send off with bagpipers as well. So there's very much that influence there still within Australia as well. If Tim Kelly goes to the West Coast Eagles and you get a fit Nick Nat as well, mixed with the players that they've already got, that is a frightening prospect. Just reading a few of the comments there. Eagles can't afford Kelly. I would have thought they would have had a big enough fan base, and then do they not get good prize money from winning it last year? And then Obviously, they're in the finals this year. Do you not get good prize money again for getting that far in the competition? I'd have thought they'd have been able to afford them. Mind you, I don't know what they're paying out in wages right now for what they've got. Chances of seeing Willie Rioli back could be very, very slim. So there's salary cap doesn't allow it. Depends how much he wants to move then. Is he willing to drop a wage to go and play for them? It's entirely up to the player and his agent. Agents have an awful lot to do with the games in sport, don't they? Where a player ends up. If a player wants it, a player will get it. I mean, I think you've seen a huge swing in sport where players and their agents pretty much run the game, particularly in what you would call, obviously, football here, soccer. The power of a player now, it's an absolute disgrace, really. But if a player's willing to take a pay cut to make a move happen, I've got no problems with that whatsoever. That is actually a good thing for a West Coast Eagles supporter to know. That's how much he wants to be there. He's willing to take a pay cut. If he wants the move, he'll get the move, you'd imagine. But there's no question in that guy. He's absolutely outstanding at footy. Essendon FC was founded, that's right, by a Scottish family. I think it's Scottish, 5 or 6 clubs. I think the Scottish AFL has about 5 or 6 clubs. Wow, didn't know it was as many as that. Exactly, Ewan, mate. You look at Ryan Kent, he could have probably got bigger money elsewhere, but there was only one place that was on his mind and his heart. He had a good loan spell there last year, successful one, and Liverpool were trying to not keep him, but try and get as much money as possible. And in the end, the players won the battle there, and so did Rangers, holding out and believing until the last minute of the window, really. It was announced at 12 o'clock, or 1 minute past, so they'd actually got that deal done so late on in the window closing to be able to sign that player. So if a player wants it, a player will generally get it. The last thing you're going to want to do is try and keep a guy against as well at your club. Can't be good for the dressing room. It's not good for morale. It's not good for the other players around them if you've got somebody sulking because the move that they've had their heart set on has fell through because the parent club that actually owns them right now has tried to stop it at all costs. I think when you've got a guy that wants away and his heart's set on it, the best thing you can do as the club, parent club, is let him go. Glenn, how's my kicking going? A lot better. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I want to go out today, but my wife's working today, so I'll have to see. Can I get a bit of chance? I'm going to watch Rangers playing here as well. 12:15 soon, an hour's time. I'm going to watch the Rangers game, so maybe after that, and then I'll cook in a roast dinner, a bit of beef brisket. Roast dinner, roast potatoes, mashed potato, the trimmings, stuffing and stuff. All the trimmings. I want to say one thing to everyone. I've got 2 Labrador dogs. The male and the female. And what's that? And the female is expecting pups on the 26th, which is Thursday. She's due to have pups. So I've got the whole setup here in the house just over there. So nervous about that. Never had pups before, but I feel like I've got enough knowledge on it now to. Usually the female, if all goes well, she'll be able to look after them or go through the whole labour herself. So I'm quite nervous, anxious about it, looking forward to it, excited. Usually with Labrador litters, they can have. The big litters are on usually the first ones. They can have about 10 or 11 pups. So I'm quite anxious about it, looking forward to it, mixed emotions about it. So that'll be our 2 family pets having pups. So there's a guy out the back. There's a young lad out the back that's wanting one off me. So it'll be nice. He just lives over the back of the fence there. So when one of the pups is getting rehomed, hopefully we'll get families taking the pups and it's going to good homes. I'll try my hardest to make sure the pups go to good homes if they're all healthy and stuff like that there. But one of them's going to be over the back, so it'll be really, really good because the mother and the father's going to be in here, and then one of their babies is going to be over there. Yes, Diana said puppies. We're going to have puppies in 4 days, so maybe on the day of the prediction. She's due on the day of the prediction. Hopefully it's not in the morning of the grand final, because it'll be like grand final here, puppies over here, but usually you've just got to let them do their thing and don't disrupt them when they're in labour. And if everything's going well, she should be able to do it all on her own. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everyone's healthy. Do I get a discount on a pup? I would do you a discount if you wanted to come and get one, because you're going to be coming to Northern Ireland to get one, so it'd put the price up for you. So Labradors, absolutely love Labradors. They're just proper dogs. I don't know why I'm talking about the dogs. I just felt like I had to say it because she's lying in there. She's really tired just now. She's beat. She's getting heavy. Just wants to sleep quite a bit tonight. I'm sure she's just getting uncomfortable now and getting that itchy way, you know, you get. So just probably, she's probably just wanting it to. She's probably just wanting it to be over in terms of carrying the babies. But I've got a lot of friends that know what they're doing. They've bred pups. A lot of friends that have bred pups. I've got people who are in all different types of working dogs, hunting dogs, etc. So loads of people I can turn to help me. So I'm not as nervous as probably would be if I didn't know a lot of people that can help me. So, yep, hashtag proper dogs. Labradors are proper dogs. They're a proper family dog. They're safe really around kids, aren't they? And then just big gentle dogs. Although strong and clumsy at times, could knock you over, and very strong on the lead if you get the wrong type of one. Collie door, mate. Collie door, just let me know. Bring your bitch over and you can put her off my Labrador if you want. I'll stud him. Free of charge for a mate, that'll do. But Collie door, that would be more like a mongrel, wouldn't it? I just love Labradors. Both my dogs usually sleep out the back. I've got a good setup out there with the pen. I think dogs are better outside anyway. So I've got a good setup out there, and my back garden's big for them. And then we take them up the field, put them up the field as well. She walks better on the lead, but then he pulls a lot more than she would. But you go through that many harnesses and dog head collars and harnesses, trying to get the right one for a Labrador. But my favourite one for a Labrador is actually the head collar that pulls them to, when they pull against you, it takes them off balance and it pulls their head to a side, and then it has them at your side a lot better. Bell and Dougal. Dougal after the magic roundabout. Do you know something? I wouldn't usually put my pets on the thing, but not when she's in labour. I wouldn't do a video of her in labour, but I'll show you a video on social media, on my Instagram, and because I just want to give her a little bit of a break whenever she's in labour. But whenever all the pups are out and I know she's fine and they're feeding all right and she's settling in well, I'll take a video and show you her feeding and stuff like that. Yeah. So, really looking forward to it anyway. I just felt like I had to say that there. The kids are looking forward to it. I'm a wee bit nervous about the wee one distracting her when the pups are there trying to feed. Try and keep her away back. Don't get the whole thing so noisy and stuff. Just keep it all calm. But that's kids. Kids will be kids. But that's the good thing about if I'm trying to get them rehomed, they're actually going to be in and around young kids from birth. So, it's a positive thing for getting a nice family home. Do I react to WWE? I actually do react to... thanks very much, Peter. Your kids are so cute. I really appreciate that. That's nice to hear. I hope it happens when Boss Baby is asleep, just for the sake of the labour and then getting the first feed in. The first feed being probably the most important for the pups. And then we'll go from there. Introduce Boss Baby slowly to the pups and make sure that she's not too noisy around Belle as well. How's the process with my Australian trip going from Glenn? Well, I'm saving money from the channel, so people who pay through Patreon, I've got people paying through my Patreon account, donate money. I'm taking the money out of that and I put it into a savings account. So I'm savings account money from that, and any money that you'll see from my adverts, any money that I make on the channel from advertising, adverts that pop up when you watch one of my videos, that's going into a savings account. The sponsor in the mullet, which is in this description section below, the super chat money that Diane has generously given, and Dylan, thanks very much Dylan as well, and Diane, Mirror Girl, all that money when it comes through from YouTube goes into a savings account. So I'm saving away a little bit at a time, eating the elephant in bite-sized chunks as you like. So yeah, once I've got enough for a deposit, I'll put a deposit down and then we'll get the flight sorted. So, as I said, these are just all little platforms as well. If anybody was wondering what Patreon was, it's an outside company, because what happens with YouTube is the algorithms can throw up sometimes. If somebody's not got a notifications bell on, I've said this before in a previous thing, like your advertising gets hit, and the money that you make off your videos goes down massively with algorithms, because what they'll do is they'll say, you like AFL, and if you don't have my channel on with the notifications bell, you won't be alerted to a video when we're putting them on the channel. So what they'll say is, you like AFL, here's something similar that's just been released by such and such a channel, golf, because it's sport. And that new algorithm system that they've put in is actually harming smaller channels like mine. So that's why Patreon's quite a good thing. If anybody wanted to support the channel, Patreon's a good way to do it, because it doesn't go through YouTube. Algorithms can't affect it. It's a direct way to help monthly fund the channel and become a patron. There's different sections you can do it. You can do it on patreon.com. It's in the link description section below. No pressure for anyone to do that. As I say, everything is greatly appreciated that you do. And just all those ways. So as somebody says, the question went, Australia trip is getting a little bit of money saved. Slow process, but we've got well over a year to get money saved. Hopefully we'll get there or thereabout the target money with the channel money, and I'll try and save a little bit myself and make the dream possible. That's the end goal really for it. There's absolutely nothing that I'm using the channel money on other than the Australia trip. So all these super chat monies, the donations that you do on that is going to it. Thanks very much. And I think, Dan, you did actually specify that you wanted a permed mullet with highlights. So if you're sponsoring the mullet, say mullet. Ewan, mate, slight change of topic there. I think Katic, I'm not too sure why he dropped him. He did mention, Gerard, that he thought Hollander suited the European game, so I'm hoping to see Katic back in. I think our weakest defender, who's usually been a rock, but he's actually been our weakest out of the two, has been Goldson. So I would have put Hollander in with Katic, or even went with the 3 centre-half pairings and had the extra man in midfield. But look, we're all managers outside of the game, aren't we? Until you're actually in his position, it's very hard. He's making decisions on trying to get results, basically. He's the man in the know. But I prefer Katic over Goldson, so if I was dropping one, I would have happily seen Goldson be dropped than Katic. I think Katic has got a lot more potential in the game than Goldson. I think Goldson can't get any better, but I think Katic can. The sky's his limit. All right, Glenn, I think you're away, mate. Thanks very much for joining in. You say go the Tigers. So he's wanting the Tigers to win there. I'm going to go myself. I'm going to call the live stream to an end. Thanks, everyone, for joining in. For my Scottish mate, as always, won the Rangers this weekend. Don't forget, everyone, comment section, 5 Donlow medalists that you think from any club. Don't be too biased in your approach to picking the players. I've already announced Mitch Robinson as the roughest and toughest Mongrel Medal winner of the Dons channel, so congratulations to him. We're going to go for the Golden Fist in memory of Danny Frawley Spud on the channel as well, so we'll do a Best Defender award and also our rising stars. So get them in. The Donlow Medal, hashtag the Donlow Medal. You're good for a hashtag, Diane. You're always good with coming up with the hashtags. Thanks very much for them. And your donation. Dylan, I don't know if you're still there, mate. He was at the game today. Thanks very much for your donation as well. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Really appreciate all your generosity. For people that's given gifts, there is a couple of people giving gifts. They're in the post right now. I can't wait to get them, as always. See you soon, Ewan, mate. See you soon, Peter. Garrett, thanks very much. Everyone, if I've not mentioned your name in the live stream, thanks very much for joining. There's a couple of new faces. Really excited to see them. Hopefully you'll continue to enjoy our channel also, like my veterans of the channel. If I could give you a veteran badge as well for being a fan of the channel, I would. I don't know how you can do that. I don't know if you can do that or not, but I would. Honorary ones from me to you. You know who you are. The people who've been with me from day one. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. Retainment is everything, and it's not just numbers for numbers' sake. It's about building a community that enjoys your videos, enjoys the engagement on these live streams, leaving comments and videos, helping me out with my footy knowledge, my footy skills, kicking the sharing, all that there is absolutely unbelievable. From an outsider, a foreigner, if you like, to your sport, a sport that I love and I'm passionate about, and if I can help it outside of Australia, in Europe, get a little bit more of an excitement spread, then I'll certainly always try my best to do that. Unbelievable stuff. As I say, thank you to you all. Do give me your votes in the comments after the video, and I hope you do appreciate my stuff. Remember, sponsor the mullet if you want. I don't usually hammer it, but somebody's challenged me for a perm mullet. That's next level stuff. Do sponsor that if you want to see. Well, I do not want to have a permed mullet, but I'll do it if you're sponsoring it. I'm a good sport. I think you've seen that in the fact that I'm on stage 3 of this mullet, and also what was it, with kicking the footy. I'm learning, I'm trying my best. I've been out there 4 times in a week. That's dedication. Really love it. Wish there was a team closer to me so I could get playing, even in training. Perming the mullet. I'll perm the mullet for sponsors. Maybe it should be called Sponsor the AFL Permed Mullet, aka the Dermy Brereton Mullet. Sponsor the Donfathers Dermy Brereton Mullet. Boom. The blonde streaked permed AFL Dermy Brereton mullet. The mullet is absolutely been, inspiration has been took from the AFL. You do not see people walking around with mullets in Northern Ireland. It just categorically does not happen. Does not happen. I am the only nutcase doing it. So for that case alone, you know what to do. Thanks again. Been a great chat. Really loved it. Even though I'm getting it tight now, I'm going to get myself a cup of tea. And I'll talk to you all soon. Will do. I promise. I've let you all down this week. And that was because I was doing my editing my footy kicking video just before I go. I promise I'll do a couple of grand final reactions videos. Apologies for that. I did promise it last Sunday. Bear with me. It's been a busy week. If the pups come, I'm going to be flat out. But I will give you at least one grand final reaction video to build up the emotion for the 2019 grand final between the Richmond Tigers and the GWS Giants. Boom! Is it going to be the Tigers? Is it going to be the Giants? Let's see what happens. Good luck, everyone. Have a great week. Hopefully it goes quickly and you get your grand final Friday off and you enjoy it wherever you are. Saturday, on the beer, on the bitter, on whatever you enjoy. If it's just sodas from South Australia, like what I was drinking, enjoy them too. The ginger ale was nice. Somebody said I missed out on the cream soda, but unfortunately it was bust. Get some of that into your life. Bound to make you happy. And a little bit of violet crumble, why not? And a Barbie! Get the Barbie on. Boom. See you soon. Great chat.